Hello, my name is Riley Achenbach, and two classmates and myself conducted research this fall looking at heart rate and liking condition while playing the same game on virtual reality and Xbox. The purpose of this study is to determine whether active video game play causes a greater physical response through the change of heart rate, as well as if active video game play is more enjoyable than sedentary video games when it comes to the measurement of liking condition. The participants in our study were 12 Franklin College students between the ages of 18 and 23 who successfully could complete a PAR-Q. The participants came to the annex, and for the first day they did their PAR-Q and their informed consent, and then for both days they were hooked up to the ECG and then given time to familiarize themselves with the game. Once they were familiarized, we started the research, and they played the game for 15 minutes. Every 3 minutes we recorded their heart rate, and after the completion of the 15 minutes, we asked their liking condition of the game. For our statistical analysis, we ran a repeated measures MANOVA, and the results stated that there was a significant difference in heart rate when it comes to VR compared to Xbox. From the results, we can conclude that encouraging people to play VR instead of Xbox will get them more active and increase their heart rate. Some questions that could arise during our study is, how might VR differ from gaming systems such as the Wii? I think the biggest part of that is that the VR gives you a 10-foot by 10-foot radius to move around, and so they were able to be more active instead of being stuck in front of a sensor like the Wii. Also, the VR is a more real-life experience because the participants are more engaged in the game, and it actually seems like you're at the place of the game. The next question is, did you control your adrenaline, and how might that have played a role? We did not control adrenaline. Adrenaline clearly played a role because when the participants were playing the Xbox, their heart rate still rose even though they were still just sitting. So the people were either anxious or excited or scared or something of that nature that led to an increase in adrenaline and an increase in heart rate. In future studies, the researchers could give the participants the game prior to the study and let them be comfortable and familiarize themselves as long as they need possible, and so when they come to do the research, they are more comfortable and they're not very anxious, and their adrenaline won't be a factor as much, so the increase in heart rate is mostly just due to an increase in physical activity. The next question is, why did we pick the game that we picked? The biggest factor in that is we had to find a game that was exactly the same for the virtual reality and the Xbox. So there's not very many VR games out there because it's a new console. So we had to just find a game that was similar for both, and also we wanted the most active one, so that kind of narrowed it down as well. Lastly, if we could do the study, what would we change? I think one of the things I would change is the amount of days that we had the participants come and the amount of participants, just to increase our data and get a better population sample, as well as I think if we categorize the participants into categories, whether they play video games a lot or whether they don't play video games, would make a difference, because the ones that play video games more often were more comfortable playing the video games. Thanks.